throat, right? I was going to say, hello, everybody. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome to my coffee and crochet video today. I should say hour, because I can't do this without all of you, right? I mean, I could, but I'd have to talk to myself. Not that I haven't done that. Well, good morning, everyone. I was reading everybody's comments. It sounds like everybody's really hot. I was noticing someone was talking about, was it Cheryl, talking about the fires in Colorado. I remember when we lived in Parker, Colorado. It's just a little bit south of Denver before you get to Colorado Springs. I remember those fires, and sometimes you go outside and it would just be a big haze of smoke, and they move fast, so you need to be really careful and pay attention to the news on those. Of course, fires can break out anywhere, and we know that, but there's just something about those Colorado fires that just used to really scare me. Well, anyway, it's hot here. I think this morning when I went out with the dogs, it was 68, which is really nice. But it's about 80, 85 right now, and it's quite humid, which I don't like the humidity. I mean, who does, right? Although it is really good for your skin. Well, anyway, welcome. And just in case you don't know, we do this every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Coffee and crochet with Sara and all my Yarnie friends. I've got a lot to talk about today. The first thing I want to do is apologize. Last week, I did not do my shout out. I can't believe that. I had so many things I wanted to talk about, I forgot to do the shout out. So I'm going to do the same one that I was going to do last week, this week, okay? And this shout out is for Heather here on YouTube. Her channel is called Strings and Threads Crochet Channel, or no, it's just Strings and Threads Channel. Okay, her name is Heather, and just a few things that she does crocheting, knitting, and yarn videos. They do what's called the Battle of the Stitches, which I was watching some of that. That's really quite interesting. You ought to get involved in that if you aren't. It's really neat. They do that on Wednesdays, and then there's just lots of Yarnie goodness and Yarnie fun like we have. I think you'll really enjoy her and her channel. Strings and Threads, and I put the link already down in the notes underneath this video, but if you can't find it, just put Strings and Threads all in one together with no spaces in that search engine, and you'll find it up there. Okay, but I wanted to do that shout out. I felt so bad that I forgot it last week, because one of the things that I am really trying to do is to reach out and encourage other YouTube channels that are especially crocheting, crafty, knitting, Yarnie, those kinds of channels, because, you know, like I always say, YouTube's not the happiest place to be, but we're going to try to make it happier. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do, of course, is clink in. Clinkety clink clink. And if you don't know what that means, it just says clink clink. And if you want to put your state or your country where you're from, that's totally okay. Never put your address, though. We don't want spammers getting your info. Trying to keep you safe, girls and guys and everybody. All right. That's so good. I've got cold coffee today, because it's so hot, and I'm not really a cold coffee fan, but I love this Aldi coffee, and then I get that Irish creamer. It's so good. And then I put a couple of ice cubes in there. So good. Love my coffee. All right, now before we get started again, we've already started, but anywho, I am going to ask you a question. So I've been designing these hats, or I should say this hat, and I'm designing it from these squares. Remember the accidental heart square? Okay, you need 5 of these to make this hat, and this pattern's not out there yet. I'm probably going to do this for our Scrap Happy pattern next month in August. Okay, I'm going to put this on, and I want your honest to goodness, honest and sincere opinion. Because I want to make one for me and then one for my sister for the next time we get together. Are you ready? I want to make sure there's a heart in the front. Okay. Don't laugh. Well, you can laugh if you want to. I think I need to make the brim a little wider because I do want it to be a bucket hat. See the heart on top? Isn't that cute? I just think it'd be super fun for me and my sister. And I'm going to call it the sister hat. Or maybe I should call it Sister Love because there's hearts. Isn't that cute? It's super duper... super duper easy. I messed up my beautiful hairdo. Anyway, what's your opinion? Would you make one of these? And the thing is, you can adjust this a little bit by doing one less row or one extra row if you want it extra roomy. But it is really roomy. I mean, it's about 24 inches around. So if you've got a bigger head than 24 inches, you could always do another row. When you're going around your squares, you could always do another row of single crochet. But we'll talk more about that when I get the pattern out there. But I really am curious what your opinion is. I like the idea of calling it Sister Love hat, don't you? Because we all have people who are our sisters we love, and people who are really our sisters that we love, and people that are our friends that are like our sisters that we love. And we ladies need to have our sisters, you know that? Anywho, it is a bucket style hat. So should I call it Sister Love bucket hat? I don't know. But let me know what you think. I really like the idea. Yes, a bigger brim. I agree, Rose. I like that. Let me see what else you're saying. Yeah, I want to make it a little bit bigger, the brim, and I want it to flare a little more, I think. I like adding the open work here so that it kind of matches the granny square. But I'm thinking I'm gonna bring that out a little bit and maybe double that down. So it'll be about this long. I like the bigger brim too. I like that idea. Anywho, it is 10:30. You might want to check what 10:30 Central Time is in your time, because it is 10:30. Let me look at my watch. Yep. Let me show you. 10:37. So you might need to check what time it is in your time, because this is Central Time. Okay. So that's just an opinion, and I'm just wondering what y'all think of it. And I like the idea of calling it the Sister Love bucket hat. All right, I don't know where to set it. I'm going to set it down here. Okay, so I decided when I was working on this, I had this huge bucket. And I actually have two of them, the big clear tubs. One of them is full of all my bulky 5 and 6 leftover yarn balls and scraps. The other one is all my light 3 and medium weight 4. And then I also have another one that has cotton in it. Well, somehow that cotton one got pushed aside, and I'd been mixing my cotton in with my acrylic scraps. So I've been going through it. And, I'm going to show you, I make what I call these crazy yarn balls. Because this is for a project that we're going to do in September. And we're going to need 3 strands of acrylic yarn for it. See, I told you, I plan everything way in advance because I want to have time to get the pattern written. I want to have time to get it tested. Because, pattern testers and pattern designers, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. And so we need to have our patterns tested, Anywho, I really love that heart granny square. Because it was sort of an accident when I did, if you remember the continuous round granny square blanket that I did, and I put it on the back of my chair, and then everyone's like, oh, there's a heart on it. And I didn't even realize it. It was just the way that all the yarn landed because it was a scrap blanket. And it was just by how we did it. We didn't change anything. It's just by the color changes. And so I put the heart out there so that you could make things with it. And so then I thought this would make a cute bucket hat. And so then I messed with it until I got it laying right. And, with the stitches and things. And then I thought, oh, this would be perfect for me and my sister. My sparkly. Oh, I should make hers in sparkly yarns. Well, I've already got her 5 squares made, so no. I could always spray it with glitter spray, though. But anyway, I do agree with you. I think the brim should be longer and more flared. So, anywho. Okay. YouTube is making they always make updated changes with algorithms and things like that. So One thing you can do if you want to make sure you don't miss the live video is I always post it on Monday, usually by 11. Okay, I go ahead and post it so that you know it's going to be there. You can go to my YouTube channel, hit that live tab, and it'll say notify me underneath the video. Then hit that notify me button, and then it will notify you. Okay? Alrighty. Okay. So we did our shout out. Heather at Strings and Threads on her YouTube channel, and we talked about the hat. Now, one other thing I do want to talk to you about is our yarn of the month. Not of the month. All right, take two. Yarn of the week. This is a yarn I've not tried yet, but I have tried the Cotton Sprout. And this is the Cotton Sprout Speckle. This color is called Harvest. It is a 3-weight cotton, which I really love. I think this would make a beautiful shawl or poncho for fall. The colors in there, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like purple, there's a rust, a brown, and sort of a minty green. And then it's kind of an off-white. And the speckle cotton sprout, there are, I think, let me look, 9 different colors. It's 100% cotton. It is a light 3. You can machine wash it, but don't chlorine it. Okay? And you can iron it on medium, and you can put it in, or on low heat, I mean, and you can put it right in the dryer. One thing I always tell people when they're working with cotton, if you're worried about the colors bleeding, add a little bit of white distilled vinegar in your rinse cycle instead of your cream rinse, instead of your fabric softener, and it will help those colors not bleed. It'll set them in and help them not bleed. And I always tell, I say this probably every week, white distilled vinegar will get the stink out of anything that has cotton in it, okay? It will get rid of it. If you have like washcloths in your bathroom that maybe your kids left and they got a little stinky with the mold. One thing I learned I forgot about, because I grew up in Oklahoma, I'm from Tulsa originally, and I forgot about with the humidity that your towels will get stinky quicker, because in Colorado where we lived in what's called the upper desert, and everything was really dry. And I rarely ever had any mold or worried about getting any stinky, smells in my cottons. And so moving back here, I forgot about all of that, and I restarted doing that with the white distilled vinegar. I talk about it every week. It'll get the stink out of all your cottons and most anything else. You can mix it with water and even spritz the inside of your tennis shoes. If you got kids that run or do athletics or just stinky feet, it works great on socks and undies too if they're cotton. Okay, so that's nothing to do with crochet or yarn, but I just thought I'd let you know that. Isn't that funny? But anyway, we can learn something just besides cotton. I mean, just besides cotton yarn, cotton fabrics, and cotton other things. So anyway, that's good to know, Sylvia. She said she tried it. Rose says she also puts baking soda in the wash cycle. I don't, because sometimes that powder can get built up in your lint trap if it doesn't all get out, and it can get built up in the lint trap. So I don't, on my machine, mine had that in the instructions, so I don't do that particularly. But if you do a lot of hand washing, that's a really good idea. Okay? Yeah, stinky feet. I remember my son growing up, he had like the stinkiest feet. His socks and his tennis shoes, oh my soul, were terrible. He probably still has stinky feet. I mean, he is 38 or 39. Let's see. This year he was 38, so yeah, he still has stinky feet. All right, now let's talk a little bit about what did we do this week pattern-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and move these cotton sprouts. Be looking for a pattern with this towards fall. I've got some really neat ideas what I'm going to do with this. And I'm going to toss that over there in my cotton pile. Alrighty, so last week for Friday Fun Day, we finished off our Christmas in July project. And I'm going to bring this down here so you can see it. One of the things that I really loved about this project is how it goes really fast and has lots of possibilities. Okay, so this is our Christmas Stuffy star, and it just has a little bit of Stuffy right in the center, and it helps it poof out, and it kind of helps it with holding its shape as well. And what's neat about these is you can do lots of different things with them. What I'm going to do this year at Christmas with my grandkids is I am going to make some extra ones up. I've got plenty of yellow yarn over there that I've ordered in, and make them up, but don't put anything on them except for maybe I'll do some with safety eyes, because you have to put those on before you close it up. But all the buttons and the face, you know, and the beading and all that, I'm not going to put those on there. I'm going to make them blank. And then all my grandkids, all of them, all three of them, and also my kids love doing this sort of thing too, and we have our family get-togethers. We can decorate them. I'll have all kinds of buttons and beads and things like that, and then we can decorate them all together. See, the back is blank, but you can decorate the back and the front if you want to. I just did them two different ways to give you some ideas of what you can do. Now you'll notice you're seeing some sparkle on there. Well, I found my glitter spray. It's way over there. Let me grab it because I want you to see the kind that I use. This is what I use. It's called Glitter Blast Diamond Dust. Now, I've had some other ones in the past. It is a little expensive. It's $8.49 at Hobby Lobby. But you can go into the paint department in Walmart and find glitter spray a little bit cheaper. But I really love this because it gives you a really good even mist. And it lasts a long time. I've had this for 3 years, I think. No, I got it when we moved here, so 2 years. But the other one that I had, it made things look sort of on camera, it made things look kind of blue. And I don't know why, because it wasn't a blue spray. But you can get this Glitter Blast in silver, in gold, and in this diamond dust. And diamond dust is my favorite. And you can spray it on anything for Christmas. I mean, it is fun. You can get solid colored poinsettias and stuff like that and use it. So anyway, I wanted you to see which one I use. But my granddaughter and I did spray some on here. It's not, you can kind of see it glistening, but not very much on camera. But these are so much fun. They measure about 8 inches, so they're a nice size, and they're squishy. So if they don't want to put a button here, another thing you can use are those little felties that they have out at Christmas time with different shapes. They're like reindeers and Santa's faces and things like that. There's anything you can come up with, they can always glue it on. And I always recommend hot glue. If you're going to work with kids, you put the dot on and let them place it. That way, and be careful with the mount and don't let them burn themselves. But if you don't want to do that, E6000 works good too. You just got to let E6000. It needs to dry for like, I think 24 hours before they can really like play with it. You know, so I'll have these already done so they have an idea of what they want to do. But you can also use glue on eyes. There's tons that you can glue on. And a great place to go and look for things to decorate this is the Dollar Tree. You know, because you can get a whole lot of buttons and ribbons and trinkets and little things that they can decorate with. You know, you can even, instead of using the yarn here, just get thin ribbon. They can put beads on it, tie it on there. I mean, it can be a lot of fun. And I just thought that would be a super fun group activity. Girl Scouts, you know, Sunday school classes with kids. My granddaughter's in a group, it's called, I can't remember, Pioneer Girls or something like that. That's kind of like Girl Scouts, and lots of different things, little group activities where you got kids together. Even if you got some bored kids over and they don't, you know, your own kids or your grandkids, they need something to do, pull these out and they'll have fun with it. I guarantee it. But if you're going to use the glitter spray, go outside. What I do is I just put some papers down. We don't get newspapers anymore, so I take apart old magazines because we don't get newspapers anymore. And I just lay it down on the grass. I lay these down and then we spritz them. And then these, we didn't do the back side. We only did the front, but I will do the back side. So anyway, Yeah, tacky glue is nice. The only problem with tacky glue is sometimes the button flats and things that are plastic and they don't have anything for it to adhere to, they don't stay put, they peel off. So if you're going to do that, take like the end of a needle like this and take your flat back. I've actually got one right here. These, they come off, and just take your needle and scratch on it a little bit, and that'll give it some teeth for that glue to stick good and hold. Okay? But I do like tacky glue also. A lot of people don't want to use E6000 because it is toxic if they eat it. But if you put the dot on and then let them place it, like they can tell you, put it right here, and then you can put it there, and you'll have to be with them, you know, whether you're using hot glue or tacky glue or, you know, E6000. I do not recommend Elmer's glue or school glue for this because they're not going to hold. They're just not. You know, you've got to have especially the flat backs, they've got to have something that it can grab into. So if you just take that needle or a pen or even a pair of scissors and just scratch up the back of that flat back, it'll adhere real good. Yeah. Okay. But I love Glitter Blast. I love it. It comes in silver, it comes in gold, and it comes in that diamond dust. I just love the diamond dust. I discovered it actually, oh gosh, it's been 17 years ago when my daughter got married. Her bridesmaids and flower girl were carrying white wicker baskets. And when I bought them from Hobby Lobby, they had some glitter on them. But I noticed that there were some spots where the glitter wasn't sticking. So I bought that and I filled in all the spots that it came off. And then I wouldn't let him practice with them anymore. I'm like, wait till after the wedding and then you can have them back. You know, it was mostly my niece, Jasmine, was the flower girl. She did such a good job. She was so cute. But she loved that basket and she played with it all the time. And so, and hers didn't have anything in it until we put the petals in it. And she would dump those petals and undump them. It was so much fun. Anyway, that's when I discovered the Glitter Blast. It is from Krylon, which makes spray paint. So, but yeah, you make sure you use that outside or in a really good ventilated area. So anyway, that is our Star Stuffy. And this is our last Christmas in July pattern for this year. But don't panic. Christmas is coming. And you know I love Christmas. And I've got lots of fun ideas already planned. Okay? So I'm going to move this over here. The other thing we did was yesterday, we did this table runner. And if you'll notice, it's made with the same yarn that the blanket behind me is made. Now, the blanket behind me, we called the 5 Spice sample blanket because it has 5 different stitches with 5 different yarns. They're all the Premier, it's not Premier, it's Pioneer Woman yarns. And I wanted to go ahead and do this because a lot of people are grabbing up this because it's on clearance at Walmart's. My Walmart had it for $2, and that's the one in Yukon. The one in Mustang, theirs wasn't on sale yet. So every store gets their prices marked at different times. It's when they have time to do it and when it comes down on the computer. Okay. And so if you haven't checked it out, the Pioneer Woman, it's a 3-weight, which is DK weight yarn. Okay. And there are 5 different colors. That's what we gave away last week on our July giveaway. And Diane already got her box because she contacted me early. She let me know yesterday that she got the box. I was so excited. It had those 5 skeins, 1 of each color, and that 8-pack of the Pioneer Woman crochet hooks in there. And so she already got it. It is a discontinued yarn, but I have seen it still on the Walmart website on clearance. So go check the Walmart website and see if your area has it. Because if it's on there, they can deliver it to the store and you can pick it up. Okay? So, but you don't have to use this yarn for this project. Okay? Let me go over there real quick. This is a light number 3 or DK weight project, and it's really easy. It's basically, once you get your row set up, it's basically a 1-row repeat. Okay, we do 4 double crochets and then we do these shell stitches. This is actually upside down. It would go this way. As far as stitching it, we do those 7 4 double crochets, 7 shell stitches, and then 4 double crochets. Once you get it all set up, you know, and from your beginning rows, and you do that until it's as long as you need it. It is 10 inches wide, and then we end with a row of double crochets, and then we do this fun trim. And I wanted to use that trim because that is the trim that I used on the blanket as well. Okay? All right, and that's why I called it, I pulled the blanket off. Here's the blanket if you want to see it again. It's a throw blanket. It has the 5 different skeins of yarn and 5 different stitches. And the way I did this blanket, excuse me, hang on 2 seconds. I did put the link for this. It's actually a crochet along. I did put the link for this down in the notes under the video because I wanted you to understand you don't have to use this yarn for this blanket. You don't have to use this yarn for this runner, this table runner. You can use any DK or light number 3 yarn and make both of them or either one of them. I think this would be beautiful in some of those light ombres that the Mandela has, or even long striping yarns. Just match it to your kitchen. But I know that a lot of people have it, and so I thought I'd go ahead. This is yarn that I had left from making this. Okay? So now I have a matching set. And you can use this on your dresser as a dresser scarf. You could use it on your mantle as a mantle scarf. You can use it as a table runner, which I'm going to use because I have a lot of the Pioneer Woman stuff with these, because these are her colors in some of her things in my dining room. And so I'm going to use this on my dining room. I also made a small little end table scarf that's in the pattern with this blanket. You'll see that as you're working that I did that, okay, if you go and do that. So let me bottom line this for you, as I always say. Anywho, you don't have to have the Pioneer Woman 3-weight DK weight yarn to make the blanket or the runner. You could do this blanket all in one color. It'd be beautiful in like a blue, like a light kind of powder blue, or even an off-white. And you don't have to have the Pioneer Woman to make this. Okay, you can use any 3-weight yarn, even cotton 3-weight yarn would work perfect for both of these. This would make a nice cotton throw, and this would make a nice cotton table runner or dresser scarf. So it's really super versatile, is basically what I'm trying to say. But I wanted to do it because I like it and it matches my stuff, and I had the yarn. So it's out there for you. Both these patterns are linked underneath this video. And again, if you click that link, underneath it is the written pattern. The blanket is a crochet along that we did. I think we did this last year about this time. I can't remember. It might have been about a year ago. And so you can use 5 different colors of yarn of your own choosing and do the 5 stitches. And the neat thing about that blanket is the way I have it set up is I give you all the multiples so you can do it as wide as you want to, and you can do as many rows of each stitch in each color as you want to, and make it whatever size that you want. You could make it just a throw like I did. You could make it a huge blanket for your bed or for the back of your couch as accent blanket. And so that's kind of what I like to do if I possibly can. My shirt's itching, sorry. But that's what I like to do if I possibly can, is give you patterns that are super duper versatile. And I've given you all the measurements and the multiples for this as well. I love that one where I changed colors. I've got one little stitch in that lighter color that's like down here. I love that. I'm weird, I know. So anyway, that's our 5-spice blanket crochet along and our allspice runner. Okay. All right. All right. The other thing that we did this week, let me check our time here. Oh, we're doing great. The other thing that we did this week was our this and that video. And I was asking you, what is your opinion on crocheting? I don't know if it's be like into fabric, but like on fabric. And there are 3 different ways I talked about in the video. And I am going to be, remember the dress that I showed you that had the little modesty V here, and then I showed you how I added a trim on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a video on the modesty triangle thing, and also I want to show you how to do one that's rounded, just in case, like, there's a lot of shirts that are really low and you just need something there. Okay, when you get to be my age, you just don't want to show those things. You know, sometimes you can't help it, you know. My family, we are all gifted in that manner. But anyway, I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you how to use what you call a skip roller, or you can use a pair of scissors to make holes and crochet right into the fabric. And then I'm also going to show you how to use the blanket stitch. I do have one where I did it on a blanket, but I'm going to do this on a towel. And then I'm also going to show you how you can just make lace and how you can get it to fit like I did on the bottom of that skirt. And what I'm going to be doing is I have a t-shirt that I just love, but it was one of these t-shirts that I bought, and it has a V-neck, so I'm going to do the V thing here. But when it came through the wash, instead of, you know, sometimes they shrink this way, this one shrunk this way, and it's just a wee bit short. So I'm going to add a trim on the bottom, and show you how to do that. Okay, so that's going to be like a 4-part series. There's going to be, like I said, the modesty things, the trim on the bottom of the t-shirt, which can be put on anything. Then we're going to do 2 towels. They're going to be fall towels. I just purchased 2 fall towels from Hobby Lobby, nice thick ones. And we're going to do the how to add the trim with the blanket stitch, and how to use and you can use an awl or a skip roller. I was going to show you my skip roller today because I ordered a new one. I went to get my thing out, the rotary blade, and I had it for like 20 years, and the plastic on it just busted. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. So then I pull the rollers out, and they're all like yucky, rusty, and I'm like, yeah, but I hadn't pulled them out in a really long time. I've had them for about 20 years, but I don't think I've used them for probably 10. Probably more than that even, because I stopped doing a lot of sewing when I was in Colorado, other than just little things here and there. So anyway, I ordered a set, and my husband's like, oh, this other set has new mats, because you have a mat that's called a healing mat that you work on, and it came with an X-Acto knife and some clips and a big thick ruler, which is really nice. And then we realized it had 2 mats with it, and I have one, and so we ordered that one. Then when it got here, I'm like, I forgot to get the skip roller, because my skip roller, I can't use it anymore. And so we ordered another one yesterday. So hopefully it's supposed to be here tomorrow, and I'll show you what I'm talking about next week, okay? But what it is it's if you have a rotary blade, they're a circle, and you hold it in this plastic thing, right? And you just roll it along. While the skip blade has like they're little blades, but they're like dotted around. I can't really explain it without actually showing it to you. But what happens is when you roll it along that edge, it makes little holes. That way you don't have to poke holes in it. Now, I've done it where you just poke holes with a little pointed pair of scissors. That works too. So don't feel like you have to go out and spend some money, okay? But if you have a skip roller or you have a rotary blade, you can get a skip roller and a rotary blade from Amazon, or you can just go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and even Walmart. I'm going to say used to carry them. Walmart has just way cut down their fabrics department. So I don't know. Depends. Super centers have them, but I don't know about some of the regular Walmarts. Okay. But go online, look for them, put in your the neighborhood store you shop at, and it'll tell you. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. You know me, I like to do things. I've got a tickle, I'm sorry. I tried to cover my nose and it squeaked. I'm sorry. Okay. Cut 3. Gosh. I'm laughing so hard I'm going to cry. It's okay. You can laugh at me. That was quite silly. Anywho, I think it's going to be quite fun. Yes, my allergies are are kicking in and I'm due for my pill. I have to space out my pills that I take. Anyway. Okay. This is going to be quite fun working with this because I love to do things that aren't just crochet, that we can add beads and buttons. And I also have an idea coming up probably closer to Christmas with a zipper. And I've been working on some ideas with zippers and I just haven't really liked how they're having them attached. And so I'm going to try something different. I'm going to, because I can plop a zipper in with the sewing machine with no problem as long as you got a zipper foot, you know, so I'm glad you got the good giggle, Sylvia. But anyway, it's just something I'm working with. I'm trying to come up with my own sort of way that I think is easy. Because I don't want things to be difficult. I want them to be easy. Because I think if it's so complicated, we're just not going to do it. And I've been told over and over again, my patterns are too easy. I'm not complicated enough. But my thing is, I want everybody to love crochet. And I don't want them to be frustrated. And I do, you know, occasionally do things that are a little more complicated. And I've had people... you know, I had a person this week that just could not figure out the back post stitch. And I literally told her, I said, go to this video, slow it down, because you can slow videos down, make them faster or slower on YouTube. I said, slow it way down and watch it really close. Because she was looking at a pattern. She saw my written pattern. Her brain just could not, you know, sometimes we just can't figure it out. You know, if we're not used to doing it, something that we think is easy might be complicated for somebody else, basically is what I'm saying. And she got it figured out and she was like, yes, 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 you know. She learned a new stitch. And that's what it's all about, you know, having fun, learning new stitches, and doing new things. Okay? So, now tomorrow, for our This and That video, I'm talking about free patterns. Woo, woo, woo! And that'll be super fun. And then on Friday, I'm going to be doing lemons, limes, oranges, and grapefruits. How about that? And that's all I'm going to tell you. All right, so now we're past Christmas in July for us. I did those videos, and I really enjoyed them. They were a lot of fun. And then we're going to move on into fall, Halloween. I mean, and the holidays will be here before we know it. So, on that note, I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to thank you for being here. Thanks for laughing at me and with me. And y'all have a terrific week.